This week on Trackside, we'll be seeing opening day action from all our area tracks with enduro action from Star Speedway. Race action from Lee with the Coors Tour, plus some very interesting pre-race predictions.
Who's the man to beat today at Lee?
Me.
The results, yes, we have them right here from the area, including the big opener at Hudson Speedway. So stay with us after this message for all the action here on Trackside. Welcome back. Well, as we said, racing has begun here, and the great crowds were here for great weather this past weekend with the Enduros at Star Speedway, the Coors Tour at Lee, and the season opener at Hudson. First, let's start the weekend action from the special rookie race at Lee USA Speedway. The Coors Tour decided to give the first-year drivers on the tour a chance to race under race conditions by staging a rookie race. The action was good with Mo Tweedy and Canada's Russ Erlin doing battle to the checker. Finally, Mo pulled out the victory and Dan caught up with him in the pits.
Mo, you won your first time out the rookie race here at Lee USA. How is this car going for you?
We knew it when we went out in the other warm-up. The first warm-up was all right. The last two warm-ups, we lost the tires. I drove the whole race with the tires were junk. I couldn't hold it. It was skady, and I couldn't hold it on the track. I couldn't even get my foot in it, but I got my foot in it long enough to win the race, I guess. But the tires was junk.
What are you going to do to change things for tomorrow?
We'll make it better tomorrow. You know, I had a push in it. I got it off in Herbie now. The suspension's all new to me, and this class is new to me. Tomorrow we'll have new tires on it, and I don't expect to win tomorrow, but I like to finish on the end hole. If I finish hole tomorrow on the end, I'll be happy. I figured I'd break the ice. I figured I'd done my homework pretty good, you know. And my sponsors, they have Roll Sign and Westford Exxon more than, I'll tell you, I can't believe it. It's fantastic. And I'd like to introduce you to them. Dickie, Mobile. This is the guy, this guy's 90% of the, if it wasn't for him, I'd be out.
Okay, you're Dick?
I'm Dick.
Were you the chief mechanic here?
I guess I'm the chief mechanic.
He's the one that knows it.
Now, have you been working with Mo for a long time?
We've been together for, what, 5 years?
Is this car a piece of cake, or is it a different ball game altogether?
It's a different ball game altogether. We're trying to go out to win. We used to play, catch up to everybody, and this time we're going to run and try to run strong.
Great.
See what happens.
Thank you.
Well, it was a very good win for the very popular Mo Tweedy. Well, in the afternoon and in the evening, Star Speedway put on their very popular twin enduros with a great crowd in attendance, as you can see. First off for the evening was the women's race, where all kinds of action took place, as you can see right here. Car number 69 was the one that slammed the wall very hard, but the young lady was determined to get the damaged racer running. Finally, after exhausting all efforts, including herself, she was led away from her broken car. The eventual winner was the 05 with Annette Joyce behind the wheel. This was not Annette's first visit to Victory Lane. Star Speedway's Mark Thomas caught up with her.
We're with Annette Joyce. She's got Star pretty well dialed in. Another Enduro women's win. How'd it feel out there?
Great. You know why? Because the 05 is still alive.
You've been active in racing for a long time. Is this Enduro experience something new the last couple of years?
Last couple of years, yeah.
Have you been beaten yet on this track?
Nope. Not yet.
Well, congratulations. We hear you might take a stab at hobby stock racing or something.
Yeah, I might. It all depends on hubby if he wants to build me a car.
All right, well, congratulations, and we'll probably see you again twice more this year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Annette really has the track under her control. Now to the twin features. As you can see from the footage from the first race, the action is really wild. Kind of like driving home on the Southeast Expressway in Boston. A lot of spins, bumps, etc. After 30-plus laps, a real scary incident took place with the car rupturing a fuel tank. And as you can see, the fire was really intense, but fortunately everyone involved came out without a scratch, a blessing. And the eventual winners, they were Steve Blunder of Raleigh and Mike Machado of Berlin, New Hampshire. Well, that takes care of Saturday. When we return, we will go to the Lee USA Speedway for the running of the Coors Tour 100. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
around the world can make a difference. Contact your elected officials today.
You'll try to sleep, but it will come creeping into your mind and grow into a private horror of your own making. All because you're leaving your taxes for the last minute. The tax laws have changed, and tax forms are different. Don't let it haunt you. File now, file accurately, and make your taxes less taxing.
Well, racing fans, last Sunday, Lee USA Speedway hosted the first Coors Tour event of the year. And we spoke to some of the drivers and some of the people involved with the racing to find out who the pre-race favorites were.
I would say probably Robbie Crouch. He had the fastest times out there, so, you know, he runs good wherever he goes. I'm sure probably Crouch or Richardson.
Probably Crouch.
Robbie be the man to beat. Robbie's always the man to beat around here. You know, he runs so good. He's smooth, good smooth driver. And but there's other guys here that can beat him. You know, I mean, Robbie has an off day. There's somebody to take his place, and there's a number of cars here that can do it.
Well, I haven't really had much time to watch. I know Robbie's running real fast, and I know that Paul Richardson's running real fast. So, but I haven't really had much time to watch them. We've been right down here working on the car where we cracked up in the first heat.
Well, so far, I would say it looks like Robbie Crouch is fast and that Paul Richardson's fast. Other than that, I'm really not familiar with a lot of other names.
I got to go along Robbie Crouch. Definitely, he's running the best. He's running about a tenth faster than we are, because that's with both of us with fresh tires and a full load of fuel. And, you know, 100 laps, it's a long way, so I hope I'm running better at the tail end of the show.
It's either got to be Paul Richardson, who looks real strong, or Robbie Crouch, I would say.
Well, I only hear that, I know Crouch is running well, and Paul Richardson is running well, and I'm sure there's others that I haven't heard about, so it'll be a tough day for anybody that wins this race. For me, everybody. Thank you. Robbie Crouch is always a man to beat, but I think Paul Richardson's got the equipment, and he's got a lot of experience here. I think he's got a good shot at it, too.
They all are.
Well, there's going to be a lot of guys. There's a couple of unfamiliar faces that are running real well. Of course, Robbie and Beaver are always going to be tough. Russ Erlin's going to run good. Well, a lot of good competition here today, and yeah, we'll give them a run for their money.
Everybody, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, we're too early into the season. You know, we got to have some respect for Paul Richardson with Butch Miller's car, Robbie Crouch, Beaver Dragon, the defending champion, and a bunch of kids that have moved into this division that know the racetrack better than anyone. So it's a wide open field today. Me.
Well, Richardson, Crouch, and of course, one vote for Jean-Paul Cabana. Okay, now let's turn to the official Coors Tour report with our very own Dan Wolf.
The 1988 Coors Tour got underway here at Lee, New Hampshire on a cool but sunny Sunday afternoon with a standing room only crowd and over 40 teams in attendance. In the AccuTrack Speed Trials, Coors Tour champ Robbie Crouch set a new track record at 14.798 seconds in the third mile. In the qualifying events, heat number 1 went to Barney McRae. Steph Madden won the second qualifying heat. Jeff Stevens won heat number 3, and Jamie Obie was the winner in heat number 4. In the semi-feature, Jamie Obie took the win after Paul Richardson and Barney McRae spun with just 2 laps to go. In the feature event, 31 cars took the green. Jack Bateman and Jeff Stevens were the early leaders. On lap 21, Jean-Paul Cabana took the lead, and he held on until lap 45 when Robbie Crouch took over. Rookie Eric Hudson destroyed his car in the one-turn wall with Tom Quinney, Dave Dion, and Carl Roby in a serious incident. Then Jean-Paul Cabana regained the lead. And on lap 51, Canadian Yvonne Bedard and Bub Bilodeau of Hollis, Maine mixed it up. Bilodeau's car was destroyed in that incident. On lap 60, Claude Leclerc, Tom Quinney, and Russ Erlin piled up in the 1 and 2 turns. On lap 61 on the restart, Robbie Crouch pulled back into the lead, and then he led until lap 83 when the red flag came out for Jamie Obie. Obie destroyed the Mountain Racing Buick when he made contact with the front straightaway wall. Crouch then held on to the lead until lap 96 when the 35-year-old veteran from Quebec, Jean-Paul Cabana, slid by on the inside. The crowd stood for the final 3 laps, and then, with just 1/2 lap to go, Crouch and Cabana started a series of bumps down through the 3 and 4 turns. Cabana collected himself, and he beat Crouch to the line by just 4 inches. How do you feel about Lee USA now?
Oh, I'm very happy, you know. I work so hard with my right arm. I think the car runs so well. I never be too much tired. And that's the finishing race today, you know, you'll tell you. Robbie, that's very good driver, you know, but we finished the race together. Very tough, but I win. I'm so happy.
You had a little bump on the last lap. Did you think you were going to come around?
Yeah, but then that's what I tried to ask you, to tell you, you know. On the backstretch, you know, he touched me a couple of times, but if that's a bad driver, he just turned the wheel a little and I spin, you know. But that's very clean driver. You know, I know that the stock car racing is very rough. That's not a playing of saloon, you know. But with Robbie and myself, we touch, but we never get the bad move, never. And that's what he make in the backstretch. He pushed me a couple of times. He tried to catch me, but I'll be there, and my car runs so well, he never catch me.
When you passed him on the inside during the race, did you think you were going to be able to sneak under?
Yeah, but you know that we have some trick. We have some men who talk with me, you know, and he tell me something that's his crew tell him, you know. I know for the last 17 laps that Robbie has so much problem with the back of his car. You know, he started to sleep. That's the reason. Is more, you know, you have more comfortable the time he was second place, but he saved the tire all the time at the second place. But in the front, you need push hard, you know, and you use the tire. By the time he passed myself, I know the tire is very too much used for finish the race at a good position, and that's what my crew tell me. And I wait, and I catch him. That's good.
How about Beach Ridge next weekend? You think you can pull off another Triple Crown?
You know, Beach Ridge, you know what I made last time, you know. I think, if I remember, on 3 races I win 2, but you never know. A race is the race, you know. You see so many accidents today. So many guys have the chance to finish the race, and they wreck the car. But Beach Ridge has the very better chance than here.
Robbie, I know you've had a lot of second-place finishes in your career. I think this has got to be the most exciting one you've had.
Well, I've finished second that exciting once or twice before, but yeah, that was a close one. I tell you, when it comes down to, I don't know whether I won or lost, and I know it's pretty close. So it was a good race. We ran great. I probably should have done a little bit better job of protecting my spot, but you know, what the heck? I can't take that back. So,
as the race went on, did the rear end of the car start to get a little loose on you?
No, actually, my car was great on the restarts, and it'd run about 4 or 5 laps, just super, and I think, run off from anybody. But then it would start to pick up a little push, and I'd have to start driving the car be real careful with it coming off the corner, just to get the right shot so I could stand the throttle all the way coming off the corner. And when he got by me, I just misjudged it a little bit. I got up a little bit too high coming out, and I had to get out of the throttle a little bit to keep from running into the wall. And there he was, you know. There wasn't a lot I could do at that point. So I just probably should have done a little bit better job down in the middle of the corner, you know, getting myself set up to come out.
Well, there's always next week, they say, and next week is Beach Ridge. Your thoughts on next week's race?
Well, Beach Ridge is a track that's been very good to me over the last 2 or 3 years. So I'm looking forward to going there. We're going for a 200-lap race, which is kind of early in the season for us to be running a race of that length. But, you know, I don't see that it's going to create too many problems because we've got a good race car. We think that it'll run that 200-lap race. We think it'll run at Beach Ridge very competitively, so we're looking forward to it.
Stub, a great race this afternoon, the 3rd place finish.
Well, you know, you asked me earlier if I was going to get a top 5, and I said I was looking for a top 10, so we did get a top 10. Matter of fact, we got a top 5, so I'm happy with that. We weren't quite quick enough to run with the leaders, but yet I was able to stay out of trouble and get a good finish out of this, so that'll give me a good shot for Beach Ridge. I'll go up there all enthused and ready to do great wonders up there.
Are you going to run the Coors Tour full-time this year?
Not full-time, no. I say not full-time unless the sponsor comes along that wants to run full-time, and then, you know, that'll be his decision. I can go either way. I'd like to go full-time, but, you know, I just don't have the bucks. I have to do this on my own, and it takes a lot of money to run one of these race cars. And, you know, you have a couple of good races, and then you have a couple of bad ones, and you kind of have to even it off, and I can only take so much out of my own pocket, so if I have a couple more good runs here, who knows what we'll do.
Next up on the Coors Tour, Sunday, April 17th, the Norseman Resorts 200 at Beach Ridge Motor Speedway in Portland, Maine. On the Coors Tour in Lee, New Hampshire, I'm Dan Wolf.
Well, that pretty much sums up the day's events. Now we here at Trackside would like to update you on some of the happenings with the race drivers. First, Paul Richardson, one of the fastest drivers, but ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time, as did Eric Hudson, who drove a very fine race all day. 2 other local drivers proved they can race with the big boys. Steve Knowlton finished 6th, running as high as 3rd, only to have to nurse his car home with an ailing engine. Also, Jay Courier ran with the lead pack most of the day, finally falling a lap down late in the race, but he did get the top 10 finish. Now, here are the official top 10 races. And how about Jamie Obie? Another violent accident. What happened?
Well, apparently I got in some oil or water or something. The car came out from underneath me and just about face and got into the wall. You know, as far as I know, no one touched me. I think I just kind of got in the water and lost it.
And finally, how close was the finish? Well, you take a look right here. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Henry Shaw of the NASCAR Grand National Shaw Racing Team. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
You try to relax, but you can feel its presence. It's there waiting for you. Yes, you've created an unreal entity of awesome power. All because you're putting off doing your taxes till the last minute. The tax laws have changed, and tax forms are different. Don't let it haunt you. File now, file accurately, and make your taxes less taxing.
Welcome back. Well, the Shaw family has put it a goal to win the Grand National North this year, and our very own Dan Wolf caught up with Henry Shaw in the pits at Lee.
Henry, your year has started out pretty well. You're at the points lead in the NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series. Are you happy with the combination races that you've run so far?
Yeah, it's been a real good learning experience for us. Dale hasn't had much super speedway experience, and with Daytona behind us, Rockingham and Darlington now, we're really starting to make big improvements with not only Dale but the crew on the speedways. You know, things are a lot more critical when you have mandatory 2 or 3 pit stops in a race compared to races where you go the whole race without even a pit stop. And the biggest difference we've noticed is after Daytona, we went to Rockingham where we'd been before, and Dale got out of the race car after the first practice. He was real competitive, and
he couldn't believe how slow it seemed to be at Rockingham after racing Daytona. So the Speedway experience is going to pay off a lot, I hope, when we hit the Oxford Plains and Star Speedways and all the small tracks around New England that we're going to run on. And I think it'll be a big boost for us for the season.
What are you going to run for a car on the short track series here in New England?
We got a Pontiac 6000 that we had last year, won 2 events with it, and we're pretty happy with that car. Plus we have a brand new Pontiac 6000, and we have a Grand Prix for our half-mile tracks and so forth, plus the Morgan Shepherd car that we've been running on the speedways.
Do you think you can pull the championship out this year? I know it's been very important to your team. Do you think it's available to you?
Well, we're going to work real hard. That's what our goal is, and you know, at the point right now, we're 110, 112 points ahead of the pack, and things are looking real good for us. It's going to make real hard for anybody to catch up to us drastically in points. And as you know, in any division, leading the points is a big boost to morale of the whole crew and sponsors and everything else. You know, the Budweiser Pontiac's been running real good for us, and we hope to keep that up.
By the way, Trackside is scheduled to cover the first race at Oxford, and highlights will be right here on Trackside April 30th when we debut on Channel 50 in Derry, so stay with us for that one. Okay, now let's go to Hudson for their results. In the Bud Light Late Models, Dick Williams won his first race in the division. Second, Dennis Valley. Third, Pete Fiandaca, Finch Fenton, and Gary Casella wrap up the top 5. In the Thunders, Sonny Martell, he started 24th, so that was a big win for him. Second was Carl Terone. Third, Dennis Lambert, Rich Gibert, and Kevin Ouellette wrap up the top 5. In the V6 Supers, Ted Parker was first, Buddy Crotty Jr. second, Jimmy Warren third, Chris Purley fourth, and Jim Ackerman fifth. The rookies, well, it was Wayne Velosa first and Randy Dean second. In the Strictly Stocks, it was Billy Clark the winner. In the Cowboy, well, it was Wayne LeClaire. Well, it was a very good opening for Hudson. We know they're very happy up there. Now let's turn to our calendar for upcoming events.
Edmund, and this is Other Points of View. Welcome to our program.
Aunque trate de no preocuparse, usted siente su presencia. Ahí está esperando. Sí, usted mismo ha creado un ser imaginario con un poder abrumador, tan solo porque ha dejado la preparación de sus impuestos hasta el último momento. Las leyes de los impuestos han cambiado y las formas son distintas, pero no deje que eso lo atormente más. Envíelas hoy mismo sin errores y quítese un peso de encima.
Now let's take a second for a few announcements. The Lee USA Coors race will be featured in an hour-long special to be shown at the end of April or the beginning of May. Check your local cable station's bulletins for that. you should find out more information, so it should be a good race. Make sure you see it. As we've said here on Trackside, we will be moving to Channel 50. It's official in Derry, WNDS-TV, April 30th on a Saturday. Big day planned for you, so watch that. And also next week, Steve Barr will be in the studio here to fill you in on the rest of the details, so stay with us for that. Well, that's about all we have time for. I'd like to remind you that next week we'll have highlights from the Coors Tour race at Beech Ridge, and also some more updates and results from what happened the previous week. I'm Bill Burt, everyone here at Mecca TV 13. Thank you for watching, and remember, we'll see you at the races. Take care, everybody.